You're watching K2 News on Digital.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for today's Digicast. I'm Noelle Ford, and I have meteorologist Rhonda Shelby here with me. Rhonda, thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course.
And then Rhonda and Angelica, they've been working really hard on a wildfire special. We're really excited about seeing this.
Yeah, you know, we joke about it, but it's not a joke that we have 5 seasons now in the Pacific Northwest, right?
I
Winter,
know.
spring, summer, fall, and wildfire season, which is not so awesome.
And then when does wildfire season officially begin here in Oregon, Rhonda?
Normally in Oregon and Washington, it begins about right now. Usually it's late May, early June, and then goes all the way into September. You know, presumably if it's not an El Nino season where we don't have rain starting until like October or November, which it could last into October. Many of you may recall some of our biggest and worst fires were September and October, but most of the time it ends about September.
And then, Rhonda, just one other question. So I know we haven't had a big fire, here in the Portland metro area at all this year just yet. But what conditions should we be looking for out there for when a fire would start?
Yeah, you're going to hear a lot about this, and we try to do a lot of wildfire alerting when it comes to conditions. The Storm Tracker 2 Weather Center does, and the meteorologists do. But there's several factors that you really need to be looking at. One of them, I think we're getting pretty lucky on right now, and that's the dryness of the fuels in which the fires start. So we're lucking out here because the snowpack has been so great, above 100% of normal in almost every basin in Oregon and Washington this year. So we did really well. And the snowpack didn't melt very quickly, so that's awesome too.
News.
So those things will help with the situation. So I don't think dryness will be a problem in the next month or so. But then now, as we get into July, August, September, it's summer. We don't get much rain. That can also be an issue. The other thing is wind. We have very strong winds in the gorge in certain situations, right? And so that's always a huge problem, and you have to be extra vigilant on those days. When it comes to even doing things like yard work, a spark from yard work could start a fire in a windy day, and it could be a huge disaster. So there's that, and then of course heat.
So many different risk factors
So
out
many
there.
risk factors.
I can't get over you bringing up just when you're doing your yard, because I haven't even thought about that. But there's so many things we need to think about, especially when there's that fire risk out there.
100%, because I don't think people understand that 85% is the number I have heard. 85% of wildfires are human caused.
So, we really can prevent
honestly,
most of them from happening.
And some people don't even know that it's happening. Obviously, unattended campfires, you hear about things like that. But if you're, driving a vehicle long distance, taking a trip, into the mountains or something, let's say, you've driven 6 hours and you drive and park in very, very dry conditions, a spark from your car could even start a fire somewhere. So it is something you really need to be aware of at all times, especially as we go into the summer months.
Yeah, you just don't even think about all that. And then, Rhonda, something our viewers are very interested in is how climate change has affected the wildfire season.
I think a lot of people understand baseline knowledge about climate change and the fact that our summers are warmer, and there is actual statistical evidence that our summers are warmer now. I was just looking at really interesting data the other day about how long our summer is in Portland, and you can actually probably extrapolate this information for just about every major city in the Pacific Northwest, especially on the west side of the state in Washington and Oregon. But it said that it's by Climate Central, by the way. Great website to look up if you're kind of an infographic brain like I am. Like I like infographics. They have really great ones. Anyway, 24 more days per summer is what we see now as far as summer heat risk days where it's 90 degrees or warmer and, a fire risk kind of day. 24 more days than we used to have before 1970 each summer.
Does
so
that extend
a month
it then?
late, yes.
Oh my
so
gosh.
Our summers are longer and by about a month. So we're starting summer season now in May and continuing for, a month longer in some cases.
So, that, Rhonda, are you saying, that would also extend the wildfire season out as well?
100% what I'm saying.
That's crazy. Wow.
Right.
I didn't even know that. At least we're not seeing all those issues like Canada is seeing right now. Luckily we haven't seen any big fire here in
Right.
Portland.
Situation is similar up there. They have the same issues we do with the summer seasons being longer. And in drought-ridden areas, which we know quite a bit of the West Coast has fought this issue for the last decade or so, and in some cases 2 or 3 decades. Yeah, this is where you really start to see these things add up. And in parts of Western Canada, they've been dealing with drought. And it seems crazy to even be saying that about Canada, right?
I know.
So, yeah, all of this is now adding up and turns into what sometimes can be a really dangerous wildfire season.
Just terrible what they're going through, but also so important to be prepared, be protected. Thank you so much for speaking with us, Rhonda. Rhonda's gonna head out. She is the busiest person in Portland, I think. Thank you for that, Rhonda. And I just want to give you some more information on when you can watch this wildfire special. So that is May 27th at 6:30 p.m. It is called Wildfire Season, Prepare and Protect. You can see all that information that is right there on your screen right now. But yeah, Rhonda and Angelica, they've been working really hard on that. We're going to talk about this a little bit more tomorrow. We're going to talk about some specific angles that they will be covering on Monday. One of them is looking into utility companies shutting off power to prevent wildfires from starting. So make sure to stay tuned on our Digicast tomorrow. That's going to be here. And then another story that our viewers are very interested in. This one is a bit unusual. There are birds showing up on the Washington and Oregon coastlines covered in oil. If you take a look at your screen, you can see one of them right there. So the number of birds covered in oil has risen to 10 now. 6 in Washington, 4 in Oregon. Unfortunately, 2 of the birds were found dead and then 1 needed to be euthanized. The Oregon Department of Environmental Quality says they also found tar balls in Washington, but they didn't see them in Oregon. It is hard to say how far that oil and tar spread, so just take a listen to what they said.
With no kind of responsible party and no confirmed source yet, it is hard to say the impacts of this substance.
Yeah, so DEQ tells us they're working diligently with multiple other agencies, including the Coast Guard and NOAA, to find that source. If you come across tar balls or an oil bird, though, don't touch them. Call this number. It is 1-800-22-BIRDS. Kind of an easy number to remember there, but we also do have that number in this story on our website, katu.com, just so you can have it in front of you. All right, my next story I want to talk about, and this is a big deal. We're talking about the DA race because Multnomah County has a new DA. We're set to have a new district attorney. Mike Schmid called Nathan Vasquez last night to concede. This was a tight race. I'm going to show you the exact race right here. 54% of the vote went to Nathan Vasquez. 46% went to incumbent district attorney Mike Schmid. We already know Vasquez's platform. He spoke to us about it during his campaign, increasing public safety. Now that he has the job, though, K2 asked him exactly what he's going to do. So he told us he plans on tackling the public defender shortage to get some more cases through the system. But, you know, he does say that is going to take time. That may not be something he can get done right away. We actually did speak with Vasquez just about some more of his plans. So he also wants to crack down on people using open-air drugs, also open-air drug dealing. He also wants to get rid of the idea that we are seeing more overdoses because people aren't being criminalized. So just take a listen to exactly what he said to us last night.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. What I see is that individuals are continuing, to use in a manner that is, it allows them to get into a pattern where, we are keeping them somewhere from rising out and getting treatment and being healthy, but yet not quite dying.
So we do have a complete interview with Vasquez over on our website, katu.com. We have interviews with a lot of the candidates from 2024. And then also we did reach out to current district attorney Mike Schmid. And he told us, well, we didn't get an answer back for an interview, though we do have a statement. He said he called Vasquez to congratulate him last night. He said, quote, "While we don't always see eye to eye, I'm committed to a smooth transition." So some diplomacy there. We do know that Mike Schmid does intend to finish out the rest of his term. Of course, K2 will be covering that transition when it does happen. And then if you go to our website, you can actually see all of those election answers that is online. Just there were a lot of questions on the ballot. We do have a full list over on katu.com if you do want to see those. Switching now, let's get to some trending news. We have Sarah Bagby in here with trending. Sarah, I am very excited about the first trending story you have because it's local. It's something exciting here in Portland.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a national story, but it kind of relates to us because we have a Portland person involved. So Mattel has now just released 9 new dolls. They're new Barbie dolls, and they're going to be famous athletes, but not just famous athletes. They're going to be female trailblazers in their sports. So what we have is one of them is our very own Christine Sinclair. So she's from the Portland Thorns. I say she's our very own because she lives in Portland and she's with us. She's actually Canadian.
She's our very own, though.
Yeah, we're going to claim her. And she got the chance to meet her 11.5-inch likeness at Providence Park yesterday. And her doll comes with a soccer ball and a gold medal. Now, Mattel says these are a part of a program aimed at leveling the playing field for girls globally in sports and beyond. And what I noticed about this was I wanted to know who the other athletes were, what other sports, and a few of them you may know. Venus Williams, the tennis player, is also getting a Barbie doll made in her likeness. That'll be a good one. Estelle Mosseli, she's an Olympic champion boxer.
There we go.
So that'll be interesting. And then Susana Rodriguez is a Spanish triathlete born with albinism. So that's pretty cool. I want to see that doll too. So what I wanted to do, I went and dig. You know, we knew that these dolls were coming out. If you're a Barbie fan, people knew these were coming. But I wanted to find out how they picked them and what made Christine stand out. So this is what's really cool. Okay, first of all, she's 40 years old. So she's playing for the Thorns. She's still one of our top players.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, she looks way younger, but probably athletes
looks
do.
amazing.
She's retired from international soccer, so that's why she's doing it at the local professional level now. But she's an Olympian, 1 gold, 2 bronzes. She has been the Canadian Player of the Year 14 times, which is amazing. And then this is my favorite one. She is the all-time highest goal scorer for both males and females with 190 goals.
This has been such a year for women in sports,
It has
and I
been,
love seeing
right?
it.
And even with our with the sports bra and with I think it was we have that opening up, which is now going to be a franchise. There's just so much going on. You're right.
Yeah, really exciting. And the next story that you have is very exciting too, Sarah.
Yeah, I mean, people may know about this because Apple's been releasing their top 100 slowly throughout the week. They've been doing it in increments, but yesterday they just announced their top 10. And we're going to give you that list, but I'm going to let you know this was controversial.
Some people are not happy about the choices.
People are upset, so we're going to bring up the top 10 for you. But Lauryn Hill's got the 1998 record, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, and I did have to abbreviate because I couldn't fit it all, but that's by Lauryn Hill, obviously. And then we also have Thriller by Michael Jackson.
No surprise
You
there.
want to help me with the list?
Yeah. So Abbey Road by the Beatles. Purple Rain by Prince.
Of course.
Love that one. Blonde by Frank Ocean. Also love that one. Songs in the Key of Life by Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Good Kid, Mad City, the deluxe version. It has some extra songs by Kendrick Lamar, which I can't even talk about Kendrick Lamar without thinking about his battle with Drake right now.
I know, we always have all that going on in the background, but hey, he earned it on the list. And then we also have Amy Winehouse, Back to Black. That one's such a good one.
Nevermind by Nirvana, and then Lemonade by Beyonce. I'm honestly not too surprised by this list, though. I don't think it's controversial.
Legends, right? I think the reason why a lot of people are upset, and if you go on X and look at all the back and forth, a lot of people are like, well, why was Queen left off? Why was Madonna left off? Or why isn't Michael Jackson before? You know, all that, and it's silly. But in the end, Lauryn Hill won it, and she got a free dinner.
Good for her.
Congratulations on the free dinner. And she did have this to say. She said, "This is my award, but it's a rich, deep narrative and involves so many people and so much sacrifice and so much time and so much collective love." So congratulations.
Yeah,
to
that's
Lauryn.
a very nice statement to put out there,
positive.
too. Positivity.
Yeah.
We're rocking with it. Thriller, though, I'm not surprised about that one at all.
Yeah, I knew it would
2.
be on there. I mean, all of those are ones but you can definitely think of others. So if you want to see the whole list, you can go look. There's a whole 100. I'm sure one of your favorites is on there, too.
Sarah,
we
next
also have
story.
more,
Yeah, I know. She brought a lot for us today.
Well, I knew the weather wasn't going to be so bad for Memorial Day weekend, so I figured we'll help people out a little bit. In case people have families or they need somewhere to go, we are putting on the Multnomah County Fair, and we're actually part of it. K2 is helping with this year, and it's pretty exciting because it's free, first of all.
That's the best news right there.
Right? If you have a family with kids, this is the perfect scenario because you got all this art. We've got dancers. We've got bands. I actually have a list of some of the bands. Portland Lucha Libre, Mariachi Portland, a Hip Hop Soul Station is doing a dance-off.
A dance-off?
Yeah, which will be fun. There's a wiener race.
There is so much there,
Yeah,
Sarah.
there's a lot going on.
I'm
and
gonna
this
have to
is
go this weekend.
Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, Saturday we may get a little bit of sprinkles in there, but it's not gonna be too bad. And then we're gonna be completely dry on Sunday and Monday. So it's looking good.
Yeah, and I want to show a countdown so you know exactly when this is happening.
Oh, there
2
we
days,
go.
5 hours, 44
That's
minutes,
so cool,
20
Noelle.
seconds.
I'm glad you made that.
Oh, I didn't make it. This is off the
Someone
Multnomah
did
County
that.
Fair website.
Okay.
I can't take credit
That was
for that.
cool. Well, to tell you though, there's so much going on at the fair. I mean, so many activities. I recommend you go look at the schedule because you can kind of plan around everything. And we are going to have that schedule up at k2.com, so check it out.
And this runs over the weekend, Sarah?
Yep, just this weekend.
All right, so you got to check it out this weekend.
That's right. At Oaks Park, I'll mention too.
Yeah, very
It's kind of
important to know the
yeah,
place.
which is super fun on its own.
And we do have all this information, like Sarah said, on katu.com because it's a lot to remember there.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.
This has been a K2 News Digicast. K2 News is on your side.